Okay, hello, welcome everyone to our DES 105 page layout tools live session. I am Shannon McNamara, your graphic arts instructor, and this is week 2 of the course. So I hope everybody is feeling a little bit more positive after spending a week in InDesign last week and feeling a little bit more familiar with the program. I know it's kind of a steep learning curve going into a new program. It can be a little bit scary, but I was really happy with the layouts that I saw this week. So that completely psyched me out. I think everybody did a really great job. So you should definitely pat yourselves on the back for a job well done this week or last week, and hopefully another well done job this week. All right, I am Shannon McNamara again, and my telephone hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. But you can email me anytime. Just note that I am located in Eastern Standard Time Zone, so be aware of the time zone change when you are trying to reach me. And our agenda for this week, I'm going to go over a couple of announcements and the discussion question for week 2. Then we are also going to discuss the CRAP principles of graphic design. We're going to look at the assessment for week 2 and the assignment for week 2. And then if time allows, I would like to do a quick critique of the week 1 assignments. If not, what we can do is I might actually open a couple of them up when we're discussing the CRAP principles of design, and we can kind of relate what we see back to that. That might be the best way to do that this week. All right, a reminder about due dates. Assignments and assessments are due by Saturday at midnight for full credit. Make sure you are communicating regarding late work. This will save you missed points. If your work is late, it is a 20% deduction. It is in the rubric. Also, the week 4 assignments cannot be turned in late. The course will turn into a pumpkin at midnight. It will lock you out, and it will not let you upload. If this does happen to you, I will say this every week. If something happens and when you're uploading your week 4 assignments and you get locked out of the course, you must immediately email me your assignment so that way I can grade it. It has to be in my email inbox when I get up Sunday morning, and there are some Sundays I get up at 4:30 in the morning to start grading, so just be aware of that. If it's not in my inbox, it was not turned in for week 4. Also, your original discussion post for this week is due by Wednesday at midnight, and you need to respond to 2 of your fellow students as well by Saturday, and make sure you're posting on 2 different days. And late discussion posts will not be accepted past the Saturday deadline for the week because we've all moved on. We're on the next topic. And the point of the discussion is to have a group understanding of the topic. And also a reminder of our course schedule. The live sessions are Mondays from 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And the multi-sessions are Tuesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Time, multi-time. Multi-sessions are open for students to come in with assignment problems, questions, or if you need some one-on-one tutoring. This gives you ample time during the week to get the assignments done. And if you need any outside help, the Student Success Center is open with tutoring available, and no appointment is necessary. All right, so welcome to week 2. We all made it through week 1. Again, awesome job, everyone. We're going to be discussing an introduction to the principles of design. Like I said, we're going to hopefully have a critique of last week's assignment, applying what we have learned about the principles of design within that critique. Then I really want to put a big focus on doing a demo in InDesign tonight. I'm going to show you how to set up style sheets, which you're going to need to know how to do for your assignment this week. And again, we'll be going over the discussion, the assignment, and the assessment. So the objectives for week 2 were to apply InDesign's text frame properties to create and link columns, utilize InDesign's character panel to apply changes to font size, kerning, tracking, and leading, utilize the paragraph panel to adjust text alignment, space before and after indents, utilize the rectangle, oval, and line tools to create a composition in InDesign, prepare an InDesign document for print output using the package tool, just like we did last week, create and apply paragraph and style sheets to manage type consistency, illustrate how to utilize the color palette within InDesign, show correct image resizing and cropping methods, identify and apply the 4 basic principles of design, which are contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity, and define and apply the 5 basic elements of design: shape, line, color, texture, and value. So I know that's a lot, but it's all written down in the course. I just wanted to go over that really quickly. So this is kind of funny. This acronym, it always gives me a little bit of a chuckle, and then I always have to say, oh, I can't believe I have to say this again. So there are 4 basic elements of design. They are contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. So we designers look for crap to know if our design is working, which, you know, is kind of a silly acronym, but it works and we remember it. So there it is. We look for crap in our designs. When we are looking for contrast, that means, you know, is there a change in size, you know, maybe between the elements on the page, the pictures on the page, the text on the page? Is there a change in color? Is there a change in direction, a change in typeface, a change in the weight of your font, maybe even a weight in some of the lines on the page? Those are some of the changes that bring emphasis and create focal points in our design. So here are some examples of that contrast. I'm going to go to full screen for this. So we have size, position, color, texture, shape, and orientation. And then some, you know, color contrast. Yes, there's a lot of contrast here, but this is a very bad choice. Your eyes do not know where to focus, and it's difficult to read. So I should never see red text over a green background or green text over a red background. It's just difficult to read. This is also a bad choice because it's hard to see the difference. There's not too much contrast between the 2 colors. This is a good choice. They're both the color green, but there is a good contrast between the 2 shades of green. Next, we have repetition. So repetition represents consistency within a design. We can repeat elements so that the design is cohesive. Think of those patterned backgrounds that I was showing you last week. That uses repetition in the background. Typefaces, size, color, and leading are used consistently to create visual unity and harmony within a design. So that is your other type of repetition. So when we create style sheets to keep specific styles together, you know, to make sure that there is a consistency between the design of our text, this is how we are also creating repetition in our design. So this is a great use of repetition. I love this example with the lines and the placement of the images, and just, this is great. I love this layout. And you can see that there's also a consistency. You can't read what the text says, but there is, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different styles. And probably 5 different character styles that were utilized in this page layout to create that repetition and create that consistency in the type. Oh, excuse me. I'm just going to mute myself real quick. I'm getting over a horrible cold. Hold on 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Whew. both me and my daughter had a cold this weekend. She still has hers. I think she's bound and determined to give it back to me. But I am bound and determined to get rid of it. But if I lose my voice a couple of times tonight, I do apologize. Next, we have alignment. So alignment is vitally important in graphic design because it allows you to arrange elements in a way that matches how people will naturally scan the page. It also helps to balance your image so that it's visually appealing, and it creates a visual connection between related elements. So you can see right here we have a horizontal alignment and we have a vertical alignment. You can also align to specific areas on the page. So the edge, the center, and then this is what we call visual alignment. Yes, this part of the V is technically left aligned with the text, but when we bring it over just a little bit, it's more visually aligned right here, and it creates a better harmony in your design. So the more you design and the more that you know what to look for, you will realize, hey, I find myself doing this more and more because I know what to look for in my designs. Also, purposely misaligning something can help to create a focal point, like this example. So the principle, and then we have proximity. Proximity is probably the one that people have the hardest time with, I think. So what proximity means is that related items should be grouped together, so that way they will be viewed as a group rather than several unrelated elements all over the page. So here are two business cards, and they have the same amount of information, but there is a reason why this layout is a stronger layout, because it's using proximity to group like items together. So we're we have Joe's graphics, much bigger, creating a hierarchy and some contrast in our text. Then we've grouped together the address right here, and then we've grouped together the phone number and the website, because most people would consider this, how to get in contact with Joe's graphics, and this is, where it's physically located. So it's easier to read than all of these different elements going around the page. Again, this is definitely the better of the two designs. All right, so there are some principles of design in this example. And if you would like to turn on your microphones, you can, because let's find them. So whoever wants to turn on your microphone, please feel free to turn it on, and you can let me know which principles of design, either contrast, repetition, alignment, or proximity you see on the page. If you don't want to turn on your microphone and you'd rather type in the chat, that is okay as well, and I can read your responses. So let's focus on contrast first. What is utilizing that contrast on the page? The food items, right. So the larger categories, I would say, of the food items. So hot sandwiches is larger than the types of hot sandwiches, and cold sandwiches is larger than the types of cold sandwiches. And then we also have two different font colors going on here. So the red and the black, which again is providing some contrast. And then we have, this area right here in a reversed box with white text. So that's showing some contrast as well. Now, next we have repetition. So what is being used to show repetition in this design? The colors and the font. That's right. Yes. So we have the same font throughout our design, number one, but also the colors, the font sizes are consistent throughout the design. You know, the larger categories of entrees are all the same font size, and they're set up the same way too. Then we have the items underneath, all the same font sizes. There is a consistency to the layout of the price points even. And the way we set this up in InDesign is using something called tabs. And what it does is it tabs over, you hit tab, that's all you have to do. And it moves over your price points or anything really to a specific point that you set. So you'll set your tab to align everything, you know, to the right hand side over here. And then, you know, you set that as a style for your paragraphs. And then all you need to do is hit the tab key and it will automatically apply that style. So we're going to go over how to do this tonight. You know, somebody didn't sit there and, you know, hit the space bar until they got everything lined up. Somebody didn't sit there and change the font size from going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They set up a style sheet and they just pressed one button and it did it for them. So there's a lot of automation that goes into, you know, those style sheets that really makes your life a heck of a lot easier. All right, next we have alignment. So where are some examples of alignment in this? Right, the food categories. So everything is aligned to the left. And then you could even say that there's also an alignment of the description underneath. You know, I can drop a ruler right here and see that they are all lined up. And the prices, yes. Which leads us to proximity. So where is the proximity? All right, this is the one I did say was a little bit difficult. So an example of the proximity in this would be that the description of the chicken dip hot sandwich, which is chicken breast, provolone, grilled onions, chicken au jus on a soft roll, the proximity is that it is close to the line for chicken dip. Then there is a bigger space between this description and the next line of Philly cheesesteak. But this description is close to Philly cheesesteak, then we have a bigger space. So the proximity is keeping items that belong together within the design. There's a close proximity between those items. Does that make a little bit more sense explaining it that way? All right, awesome. All right, so let's look over a couple of examples from last week, and I don't have anybody's names on them, but I'm just going to randomly open up 4 of them, and we will look at them based on the CRAP principles that we just talked about. So let's see. All right, so first one. So let's talk about contrast in this one. What is working when it comes to contrast in this one? Right, the color, because the purple over this yellowish green background and the word bistro really works. It really kind of, they play off of each other. So the color of the font definitely is working in this one. I agree. Now, what about repetition? And if there isn't something, you can say, well, I don't see the repetition, or I don't see the alignment, or I don't see the proximity. You know, you can definitely point that out if there's something that you don't see, but you have an idea of how to add it. Using the same font, exactly. Yep, that is an example of repetition. And then alignment. Right, where we have a center alignment. I can drop a rule right in the center, and this is nicely center aligned. And then proximity. Right, the same groups are grouped together. Exactly, yes. So you have the address, and then you have the phone number, standing alone, and then the hours. Now, my one suggestion would be something great by the sea. That's kind of a tagline. I would probably move that, when it comes to proximity, closer to the logo. And when it comes to the contrast, I might bump up the address or the phone number, one of them. I want to give some hierarchy to my information here. But this is a really good design. It really is standing out. Next we have, I'm going to go with this one because I really like these elements down here that were created. So I'm going to show page 2 of this one. So contrast, let's talk about contrast. The black against the red is working, but the plus sign right here isn't. So I feel like we need to do something about the placement of this logo on this reddish orange background, because this part is getting lost, and that is part of the logo. But the rest of it, contrast-wise, does work. You are correct. What about repetition? The circles, yep. That definitely works. Then we have alignment. Right, the text is aligned. It's kind of left aligned, but then it is centered on the page. This is a little bit off though. The illustration at the bottom. I think that this needs to be exactly centered on the page, and I would maybe like to see the logo centered on the page because this is kind of off-centered. And then how about proximity? Yeah, proximity is a hard one on this one. I would say putting Chinese um in sushi restaurant close to the logo works. But I might even separate out like the delivery available, maybe run that somewhere else to stand out more. But I think that, some of the things could be moved around a little bit. But all in all, this is on the right track. All right, next we have, it worked out. I've done one of each. So I'm not gonna, I think this will be our last one just because of time. So here is, we'll do this one. Maxwell's. So first we have contrast. Right, the silver and the black. And it's kind of funny because even though this is a dark logo, the way this is set up, the dark logo on the dark background, really does work, and there is still some contrast. So this was really well done how this was done. And then also the orange is kind of like a gold. I think that contrasts with the silver, so I really like how this all works together on top of the black. Next, we have repetition. Right, the font styles, yes, definitely. And also the use of the lines. You know, you've got kind of squares and boxes and lines going on. So I really think that that's repetition as well. And then we have alignment. Right, this is centered. It's all technically centered except for these lines which break the alignment, and I really like that. And then proximity. Right, the name of the restaurant and fine steaks and seafood are together, so there's that proximity, and then we have the address together, and then the hours together, and then the phone number stands alone in its reverse bar. So I really like how this was laid out. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. So good critique and showing how to put together those crap elements or look for them as well. All right, so I've been talking a bit about style sheets, and style sheets are going to be the name of the game this week. So styles are predetermined formats for text and objects. Using styles is the fast and efficient way to manage formatting. The types of styles that we will be working with are character styles, which are character attributes such as font, stroke, and fill, leading, and kerning, or paragraphs, and then paragraph styles as well, which controls character attributes and paragraph attributes such as tabs, indents and spacing, or paragraph rules and hyphenation. So we kind of did this already, but there are some style sheets in here. You can tell that these entree items, the larger ones, this is style number 1. The item is style number 2. The tab would be a paragraph style. The description would be style number 3. The smaller description with the red italicized text would probably be paragraph style number 4. And I think that's it. So there's probably about 4 styles going on in this example. All right, so this week, again, for our assessment, we have a quiz. And again, it's also not timed, so take your time with the quiz this week. It's going to be on applying InDesign's text frame properties to create and link columns, preparing an InDesign document for print output using the package tool, creating and applying paragraph and character style sheets to manage type consistency, identify and apply the 4 basic principles of design: contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity, and then defining and applying the 5 basic elements of design: shape, line, color, texture, and value. All right, so let's hop back over into the course for a moment. We're going to talk about the discussion. I want to go over some announcements, and then we will jump into that assignment that I've been talking about. So let's go over the announcements first. Oh, they're actually showing up on this page today, so that's good. Oh, all right. So I had just wanted to make a quick note to you guys about updating your Behance page. See, I think these are all the ones that I wanted to go over. All right, there we go. So, oh, that's missing. I'll have to fix that. Make updating your Behance page a habit, and I will fix this image. It just shows a screenshot of how to do that. It's really important that you upload any of your finished work as a JPEG to your Behance page. And the reason why this is important is because you'll be showcasing your work to potential clients and employers. Yeah, this is a new thing. It's ever since they updated Canvas. I feel like we've been having a lot of image situations. Yeah, it's happened to me the last 2 mods, and it's really, really annoying because it shows up on my end and it doesn't show it as a broken link until I go into student view. So that's annoying. All right, so yeah, so you want to make sure that you're updating your Behance page, and the only way to get a job in this industry is with a portfolio. So I've shared my portfolio with you just to show you that I also keep an online portfolio to show my potential clients. And the way that you update your Behance portfolio is you would open up your PDF file and just save it as a JPEG. So you want to look it over good before you do that, and you would go File, Export to Image JPEG, and I just kind of showed this real quick, but let me open up a PDF file and I'll show you. So you would go File, Export to Image, and then you would choose JPEG. I am not 100% sure which class you originally set up your Behance page in, but you all have your Adobe Creative Cloud. So all you need to do is go to behance.net and sign in with your Creative Cloud ID, and you can start setting up your Behance page anytime. You'll see I have, a nice professional photo, where I'm located, a little bit about me, what my focus is, a little bit of a write-up about me in the third person, which is a little weird, but that's actually APA format. And then I've also added some of my work experiences and other web links. So I have I set things up in different projects. So my video tutorials that I've done, some Muse templates that I've made, some Photoshop work that I've done, graphic design, photo manipulation, which is a little bit different than my Photoshop work, because I used to work for Benjamin Moore doing extremely specific photo manipulations for them. So I just put those all together. Some painting and drawings that I've done, some graphics packages that I've created, a couple of things of photography, and even some of my class projects that I did in some of my last classes in school. So just some illustrations that I had made for icons and postcards and a couple of other things that I've done. So, it's really important to set this up. If you've done some Photoshop work, kind of show the before and after. Like, this is the before image, my friend's daughter on the beach, and she was holding her up, so she wanted her arm taken out, but I also got rid of the other people she didn't know from the beach, and I lightened the photo a little bit, so now it's just, her daughter sitting on the beach. Adding in some stuff, these were stock photos, and I had to make a place card that was sitting and have it lay down on the table, or, little things like this. Taking her out of this picture. I do a lot of that, taking people out of things, adding logos to things that aren't there. So, it's just important to really showcase your work. And every time I do something new, I update my Behance page, so that way, potential employers, even independents, they want to know what I'm doing, to make sure that I'm staying up to date and that I'm still doing, graphic design related things. So I share my pages with my fellow instructors as well. So it's just really important to get into the habit of doing that. All right, week 2, again, don't forget about those readings and videos. Don't forget to watch the videos that are located in the readings and videos tab for week 2. Style sheets, don't forget part of the menu assignment includes using those style sheets. Bleeds, don't forget to extend those backgrounds to the bleed lines in InDesign, and create a PDF with all printer marks and bleed set. So you're gonna wanna refer back to the live session video. And from last week, I'll try to go over it again this week as well. And then discussion, your discussion post needs to have an embedded image, and there is a prompt that requires APA cited content for this week. And also, let's have a great week 2. So I'm going to show you how to embed an image into the discussion post. I'll go through the rest of the announcements, but I will show you how to do that this week as well. Also, if I told you that your work, your artwork from last week was showing up low res, if you created or found a background image. So if you received that comment from me, I gave you 2 links to find better images. So you can visit, they're both free links to download free artwork. So try visiting there to find some better images for your background if you needed them. Also, if you are missing work from week 1, don't fret. There is definitely still time to fix this. You know, try and get those missing assignments or assessments in as soon as you can, because there is definitely still time to bring up your grades going into week 2. So don't think, oh, I've already messed up in week 1. That's it, I'm done. Don't throw in the towel just yet. Really make an effort at the beginning of this week to get the missing assignment in, so I can give you some feedback going into week 2. And also, don't let it snowball where week 1 is missing, and then week 2 is going to be late, and then week 3 is going to be late, and then it's week 4 and you're trying to get everything done. You know, make sure that you are really working towards getting that missing work in. Also, my policy regarding resubmissions and late work, I do allow 1 resubmission per assignment or assessment for a better grade. The auto-graded quizzes are exempt. All resubmissions must be completed by Tuesday of week 4, which is April 24th, and any late work must be submitted by Friday of week 4, which is April 27th, and discussions. Oh, no problem. All right. And discussions cannot be resubmitted. All right. Also, if you need some help with your Adobe programs, just a quick reminder that Adobe Help is offered on Thursdays and Fridays of each week with Sean and James. So I've given you a link to both of their Zoom rooms. Every Friday for Sean from 10 to 12 Mountain Time, and every Thursday and Friday with James from 12 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're having any Adobe problems, please get in there with them. They can definitely help you out. And our learning coach, this mod is DJ Smith. And the hours for this week are Monday from 4 to 9 p.m., Wednesday from 7 to 11 p.m., Friday from 6 to 11 p.m., and Saturday from 4 to 10 p.m. So she is definitely there to help. And here's another one. If you received a message from me stating that I left you, if you uploaded your zip file and you also uploaded a PDF file, I left you comments on your PDF. So I also gave you guys a quick video to watch to show you how to get in and see that feedback. So you'll want to watch that video. All right, I think that's all I had to go over for this week. So let's go in and discuss our discussion for week 2. This week, it's all about the style. So again, make sure that you are reading over the background and your prompt for this week. So in today's discussion, we learned about how to use the use of style sheets can make layouts consistent to apply to two of the principles of design, repetition and alignment. Do you feel that restricting yourself by using style sheets hinders creativity? answer that question. Find an example where you feel style sheets were used, but is still unique and creative. Locate 3 places on that layout and tell us what type of style sheets may have been used, character or paragraph, to support a principle of repetition or alignment, or both. Be sure to cite where you found the image that you were using and the artist or firm, if possible. And there is a video that shows you how to embed images into the discussion using the image's URL, but I'm also going to show you how to do this as well. So let's say that I am using this example, which I'll copy into Photoshop real quick. So you can watch that video, how to embed an image in using a URL. I'm going to show you how to upload an image to your profile and use it that way. Come on. Oh, sometimes it doesn't want to paste from here. Copy, paste. Yeah, that seems about right. We'll take a screenshot. All right, there it is. And I'll just remember that where that is. All right. So if you want to upload an image because you've saved the image, what you need to do is navigate over to your account, the little picture of yourself here. I'm in the testing student, so it doesn't show my mug right there, but it should show yours. And you're going to click on it, and you'll notice that it says Files. I'm just going to open this in a new tab so I don't navigate away from the discussion. But you'll go in, and this is where you can upload to. What I like to do is I like to put things in folders so that way it's not a big mess of files everywhere, just like I do for my assignments and my assessments for each mod. So I'm going to make a folder called Mod 4. Then I'm going to make a folder called Week 2 because we're in Week 2. And then I'm going to upload that file into it. And grab that image. And there it is. So now when I navigate down, hit the reply button, I'm going to say, there is a demo of how I embedded this image in this week's live session. All right, I'm going to click on the embed image, and it's going to bring me into either URL, Canvas, go to my folders, there it is, and click Update. And here we go. And then just post your reply. So, and again, if you want to embed with an image's URL, watch the video right here. Make sure that you are answering each of the questions in the prompt this week. You also want to cite where you found your image, and you want to cite it in APA format. There is a link in the announcements to citationmachine.net. It's from week 1, but that is the best way to make an APA formatted citation. It will make it for you. So you can just go to citationmachine.net. I don't want to cite a book. And then just go to website, and you can paste in the URL and just follow the prompts, and it will make the citation for you, and you can copy and paste it in. Easy peasy. All right, so don't forget about the discussion this week. Again, read over the background first, read over the prompt, and make sure that you are meeting all of the criteria for this week's discussion. And then again, also this week, we have an assessment. A little bit slow there, which is a quiz. So there are 13 questions. It's worth 50 points, and the time limit is none. So if you run into a question that you're not 100% sure of, and the answers are going to come from the readings and videos for this week on your homepage, go to readings and videos, scroll down to week 2. This is where this is going to come from. So you want to make sure that you're watching all the videos, take some notes. But if you run into a question that you're not 100% sure of, open up a new tab, go back to the readings and videos and see if you can find that answer. All right, so let's go over the assignment for this week. I'm going to go over the prompt for the assignment, and then I will start up a new video just doing the demo in InDesign. I think that'll be a little bit easier for everybody. Kelly, that's a great idea, typing your discussion in Word and then copying and pasting. I do the same exact thing for mine. I type everything out in Word so I can catch all of my errors because, sometimes I have errors. We're only human, All right, so again, I'm going to go over the prompt for this week, and then I'll start up a new video doing just the InDesign portion. So for those of you who are here tonight live, you'll be able to reference back to that video. And for those of you who are watching at home, in case if you need to pause and try to work along, you can do that as well, but you'll at least know where things started off at. All right, so for week 2, we are doing the second part of our menu design. So you're going to need to pick what you think was the stronger of the 2 covers that you designed and go with that one. And then you are going to be adding that menu to page 2. So here's our background. A restaurant menu does more than inform the public of what they are serving. The stylistic choices that you will be making as a designer will tell the reader more about the food establishment than the words themselves. But in order to be able to style these words, it is imperative that a designer learns how to control the typographical and image tools that InDesign provides to create your menu. For example, if you were to want a color outside of white for the background of your menu, the rectangle tool is used to create a frame that spans the entire page. You would then fill the rectangle using a color from your swatch panel to give the appearance of a background. Several of the elements of design, including shape, color, and value, are applied to the page utilizing the rectangle tool or one of the other shape options it provides. One of the menus above shows flip-flops that are cropped on the corner of the page. This is concisely and neatly achieved using the rectangle frame tool. The entire image is within the frame, and we can crop it wherever we wish to without destroying any part of the image itself by just adjusting the edges of the frame. If the layout changes, the image can be resized and recropped with ease. The rectangle frame tool would also be utilized to apply the elements of texture to the page. Developing a great understanding of the basic tools taught in this course will give you a jump start to creating a smooth workflow and allow you to spend more time applying the principles and elements of design rather than fighting to get what you see in your mind on the page. You will begin to use the shape, image, and typography tools with the ease in which you currently use a pencil, paper, and scissors. An extensive list of tutorials that addresses each learning objective in this course is found in the course media page. These, along with demonstrations in the live session, will help you become familiar with InDesign's tools. So, yay! It's getting a little dark in here. Not that you guys can see, but I had to turn on my light. I'm basically sitting here in the dark. All right, here is your prompt for this week. Your graphic presentation, type choices, and overall look should reflect the price point, market, and target audience of the restaurant you choose. Make sure that your menu can be read in both sunshine and candlelight. Your ultimate goal is to express the restaurant's personality in a visual way. For this assignment, you will be finishing the project you started last week by adding the menu items for your restaurant. Please do not change restaurants. Duplicate your week 1 menu cover file and then rename it DES 105 Assignment 2 with your first and last name. Choose the strongest of the 2 cover designs and then delete the page of the cover that you don't want to use. Make revisions to the cover per my critique from week 1. Add a new page to your InDesign document, and then you're going to create a menu layout for the restaurant on the new page that utilizes all the text provided. Remember, we downloaded all of those assets and the menu items were in there last week. You need to use at least 2 of the photos that were provided to you. You need to use paragraph style sheets, character style sheets, custom color swatches, and then tabs with leaders. I'm going to show you how to do all of this. Apply the CRAP principles, contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity, and elements of design such as shape, line, texture, color, texture, whoops, that's in there twice, and value that you learned about this week. If you copy the layout from the example, your creativity score on the rubric will be low. When you are finished with your design, create a package folder. Be sure that a quality screen resolution PDF is included in your package. Zip the package file and submit the zip file. The assets for this week's project are those that you downloaded in the week 1 assignment, but you'll notice here's a link to them again. Should you need to download them again, you'll also find them below. Be sure to download the same restaurant that you did your cover on. Doing a cover on one restaurant and the menu side of a different restaurant will result in no points. So please read over everything. All right, so for Maxwell's, if you had chosen Maxwell's, in that folder there was a logo, the front page copy, the menu copy, and then 4 photos. You can use all 4 or you can choose 2 or 3. To see examples again, you can go to the week 1 assignment. The same thing for Starlight Bistro. There were 3 photos included with that one, as well as the menu copy and the front page copy. The walk and roll had 4 photos, menu copy and front page copy. So here is our rubric for week 2. If it's on time and properly packaged, you will get 24 points. If you make corrections to the cover based on what I said during my critique, you will get 20 points. Your paragraph styles right here were 30 points doing those paragraph styles. Images are sized proportionally, 10 points. Typography is proportional, legible, and readable, 10 points. Frames are properly used, 10 points, and overall creativity. So utilizing those CRAP principles, 16 points. So we're aiming for a 120 this week. All right, I am going to end this video and I am going to start up our next video. So for those of you who are here, I will just start up the next video, the next recording. And for those of you who are watching at home, please proceed to the next video on YouTube.